Last time on The Thai Life.
We have our firstborn. Look at that.
I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I'm basically just going to broadcast them across the bed and let them do their thing. So this is a total experiment, and I'm going to plant them all today and water them. So I won't be able to show you for a few weeks until they grow. I don't have anywhere to carry them in, so James has volunteered.
James and I found some amazing morel mushrooms just behind our property the other day. This is the time of year for them. We sampled them yesterday with some cream pasta sauce, and they were delicious. I've actually never eaten morel mushrooms. So tonight we thought we would have a fire and do our famous veggie burgers on the fire, but we're going to do a little sautéed mushroom, tomato, little baby tomatoes, and some fresh thyme. Fire roaring. I'm going to put it in my cast iron pan on our grill, and I'm going to first fry them up in some beef tallow that I got locally. And I'm going to add some chopped up garlic and salt, of course. And then if I need to reglaze the pan, I'm going to add a little bit of butter at the end. The way that you slice the morels is they come blue like this. And what you want to do is just slice off the end and then slice this in half. And then you just throw them in the frying pan just like this. They're actually hollow in the middle, which is really cool. They're amazing little things.
They taste like steak.
Yeah, they literally taste like steak. Maybe we haven't had steak in a really long time, but damn, they're good. So we're just going to wait for the fire to die down a little bit till it's a little bit more coals and put on the grill, and then we're going to get cooking.
Oh yeah. Gonna sizzle, babe. They're hot. He loves the Hobbit hut so much. Hey?
Call it the Ned. That's right.
The Nede hut. You okay?
Yeah, just smoking my mouth.
You want one of the napkins?
We're gonna need the napkins up because the handle's gonna get really hot. Try to keep it. Yeah, it's gonna get really hot. Wonder if we should get oven mitt.
I can go get it.
Yeah, maybe.
He has like all these pots because of her. Melting.
Yum.
Thank you. Ooh, it's juicy.
The prime is crispy. No, no.
Tomato. I just got one,
It's hot.
but I got that and a morel. It
Mm.
was hot.
I can't believe how good those are.
Well,
Like the most amount of, it's like they're seasoned, like meticulously.
I can't. I doubt they would taste as good if I cooked them.
I don't know if you can really mess them up.
Are you saying
Like, even if you just fried them in butter with some salt, they'd be delicious.
are you saying I don't know how to cook?
Saying they're that good. Oh. Watch your little butt.
Oh,
Just an update on our egg stand that James and I built a couple weeks ago. If you missed that episode, I will link it up here and down below in the description. We have a honor system egg stand where we sell our eggs on the side of the road in our community. As most of you know, we have a whole bunch of broody hens, and when that happens, it instantly drops our egg production by, I don't know, it felt like about half. We were getting between 15 and 18 eggs a day, and then we were down to between 8 and 12. Now we're getting 12. For the first couple of weeks, it was really low. Not to mention the fact that there's 5 to 8 eggs under each of the broody hens as well, and then each of those hens are not laying their egg every day. So what ended up happening was we had to put a sorry, we're sold out sign on our egg stand, and I'm sure a lot of people drove by and were sad because it was very successful. We sold out every day that we had it open. I would put between 4 and 6 cartons of eggs in, and we would sell out, which was amazing. I'm super grateful for our community. So I've finally been able to stockpile 4 more cartons. So I'm going to go ahead and stock the egg stand now. And I've also printed out a little sign to thank my community and let them know what's going on. Okay, so I had this sign up with a rock on top on the cooler. And so that's how I was letting people know we were out of eggs. So I'm going to take that off. And this is my sign for the community, just to let them know what's happening and what has happened. You can pause the video if you want to read that in full. So I'm just going to tack that up on the wall here and put my egg. Oh, people left me egg cartons. That's so nice. Stock my cooler and put up the signs. And James is away right now, so I'm not able to change the employee of the week because I need some sort of a screwdriver or something for that. So we're just going to leave it as Amber. And Amber is actually not one of the broody hens. She almost was broody, but I was able to break her. The old packs. So I wanted to show you some progress that I've made here in the greenhouse. I'm starting to get really excited about moving all of the seedlings that I started a couple months ago that have been living in the house and literally taking over the basement of my house, out into the greenhouse and then the garden. But there's a process called hardening off that needs to happen before the plants are planted into the greenhouse and the outside garden. And in case I didn't mention it before, hardening off is just a term for getting the plants ready from their indoor life to their outdoor life. So getting them used to the sun, the heat, the wind, all of those things, before you actually insert them into the soil. So I've already done quite a few things here. I've done some herbs. I've got some in this middle bed here beside me, and then over here, a couple of onions, a whole bunch of peppers. Some these seeds I saved from some organic bell peppers that I had bought from the grocery store, and I just threw them into a little thing with some soil, and I got so many plants from them. So I just went ahead and planted them sporadically throughout here. I've got some tomatoes that I'm going to put in here. And then behind me, I just brought out 2 big trays of cauliflower and broccoli. And I didn't realize how many of those that I planted, but there's a lot. And if you've ever had cauliflower or broccoli from a garden, from someone's garden, as opposed to the store, it's so good. These ones are going to be hardening off here in the greenhouse, and then I'm going to bring them, and I have a little spot, actually a big spot because there's lots of them in my outdoor garden that I'm going to put them in. But I just looked at the weather, and next weekend there's a chance that it will get a little bit too cold for them. So these plants might just live in here for the next week, just to be safe. Gets them out of my house, so I'm happy. In the last video, I showed you guys that I was trying a bit of an experiment here in the greenhouse. I mixed up a mason jar full of just miscellaneous flowers, herbs, and leafy greens, and then I scattered them in my cedar beds, and they're already coming up. Little tiny seeds are already coming up. I had no idea what was going to happen, but I'm starting to think that it's going to be really, really awesome in here. This entire greenhouse is going to get a bit of a makeover. I'm going to be getting rid of these 2 planters, and I'm going to put a little sort of chill space back here with some stumps, and James might even make me a little cedar bench so you can actually hang out in here. This back corner is typically the coolest because once the sun moves, there's shade back here. It gets morning sun. And then with the broadcasting of the miscellaneous seeds that I did, it's just going to be sort of a jungle of random flowers, herbs, and leafy greens. So I have a feeling it's going to have like a really cool, sweet bohemian vibe in here. And I usually plant things like very methodically in rows, and I don't want to do that anymore. Not in here anyway. I've still got my whole garden, and then I've got my rammed earth greenhouse that I can do things in too. So I thought, why not switch it up a little bit this year and try something new? Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to, yeah, I planted a lot yesterday, so we're pretty good in here. Oh, I'm gonna plant, I know I said I wasn't gonna plant tomatoes in here, but I just have so many tomatoes. I think I have I've got 6 plants here. I put up some trellising, some plastic trellising, and I'm gonna plant them just in this middle bit, just because I just have so many tomatoes. There's too many even for the garden, so I'm going to plant tomatoes in here. I got my peppers there. I still don't know what I'm going to put in the back there. We'll have to decide. Yeah, so I guess I'm just going to get doing that. Every time I hit record on the camera, Jojo barks. She's a really good protector. All right, so I got my tomato plants here. I thought I had 6, but I have 4. So obviously I'm gonna have to harden off a couple more if I want to keep them in here. Or I just thought of something. I read that basil is really nice to plant with tomatoes, so I might interplant basil. I've got some really nice plants inside. So here's my plant. Beautiful. Now, I didn't label any of the tomato plants because it's a tomato plant, like it's going to be what it is. I made sure to plant a variety of the seedlings. So it doesn't really matter, and it's kind of saves me a little bit of time to not have to write on the every time. So I went over this in when I was doing my seedlings. The tomatoes like to be planted really, really deep. Now these beds are 18 inches deep, I think. No, it's got to be more than that. James would be so mad at me. I don't remember how deep these are, but they're deep. But we're going to dig a huge hole. And I'm actually going to trim off, see if I can show you here. I'm going to trim off these, there's the pot, these bottom little guys here. That guy and this guy. So I've got this big long stem up to here, and I'm going to try to plant it that deep into the planter here. The reason, by the way, for that is there are microscopic little hairs. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, and I don't have a hand to tap the zoom. But there are microscopic little tiny hairs on the stem of the tomato plant, and the deeper that you plant that, the stronger it will be to grow. That's the really short version of that. Well, it's been exactly 2 hours and I've already sold out my eggs. I think we need more chickens. My neighbor sent me a text and said, "You're out." So back here putting up the sold out sign, and hopefully we can get another couple dozen in the next couple days. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how many people want fresh, organic, free-run eggs, and it's really awesome to know that people are interested in knowing where their food comes from. That makes me the most happy.